ESPN FC Daily, Kay Marie and LME here to talk about England's 3-0 win over Senegal. They are through to the quarterfinals to face France. And I'm not really sure, Louise, how to feel about this. I mean, we saw Miguel get away with a mistake. We saw Phil Foden start in a big save from Jordan Pickford. Harry Kane scoring from open play. Of course, Jordan Henderson scoring the opening goal for England. So many things to talk about here. Great to see Saka scoring too. Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, keep going. What else?
Biggest one of all. We have an absolutely brilliant world-class player who's still only a teenager. His name is Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham. Hey, Jude. What a performance. I don't know what to feel, K-Bar. I don't know what it feels like for England to deliver a great win like this in the knockout stages of the World Cup. Amazing stuff. Amazing. Once again, Phil Foden, to your point, such a great performance, becomes the first player since David Beckham to produce 2 assists. Jude Bellingham, listen, Jude Bellingham's agent right now is like, chinging it in right now because he is an absolute star. And Harry Kane delivering again. What a great win. What a great victory. I feel sorry for the fact that we'll say goodbye to Senegal fans because they have been some of the best in the tournament, but tremendous from Gareth Southgate's England. And France, here we go, baby.
Yeah, we do. Let's bring in Tom Hamilton, shall we, to talk a little bit more about everything that we've just seen in this game. Where do you want to start, Tom? What stood out to you most from this? Because we're saying there's a few moments that we're not sure how to feel about. It's almost like it's weird to finish a game as an England fan feeling comfortable.
Yeah, and it was, to be honest. I think like Jude Bellingham completely personified it. He was so calm for both those goals, like the way he just controls the tempo of the game. Especially for that second one, for the Harry Kane goal. You can see him just in the middle of the park. They're playing on the counter. He gets it. He looks around, makes a little dart, puts the ball into Foden, who then gives it over to Kane. But he's so composed. And you can really see in this game, like, sort of the Southgate DNA sort of personified on that pitch. You can see the way that he wanted his midfield to press, win the ball back. Kane drops deep. The midfielders push on, create all this relentless pressure. And from there, 3 brilliant goals. And I think this is it. I mean, you're looking at sort of the early stages. There were those few warning signs. Senegal, they played really well in the first sort of 20, 25 minutes. And then England eventually just sort of came through. But it's just these key little midfield transitions, winning the ball back, the likes of Henderson, Rice, Bellingham, even Kane dropping back. And then everyone just moves forward en masse. And it must be so difficult to defend against. And Senegal, AFCON champions, right? They're a good team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not much more to add from Tom's points there. I think it's really worth noting that, number one, England won when the game wasn't perfect, right? Okay, you said it in your intro. It began with a few missed passes from Harry Maguire. Jordan Pickford needed to do a really good one-handed save to deny, an attempt from Senegal. It wasn't a perfect match. But then as the game went on, just like Tom said, players like Jude Bellingham stepped up. And it's worth noting that Gareth Southgate learns from the things that he has already seen in the tournament. He knew that Phil Foden was screaming to start in this game, and he knew how to use him. And for everything that we talk about Harry Kane, he's not a number 9 for England. He is so much more, and he delivered in so many ways. It was a really strong performance, a confident one, and it makes me feel good, Kate, to note that, Bukayo Saka, 21 years old, Phil Foden, 22, Jude Bellingham, 19. I mean, the future is here, and it's very bright.
So, Tom, does Gareth Southgate get praised for his decision-making here?
Well, I think you have to, don't you? I mean, it was bold to not start Rashford again after that performance we saw last time out, right? But when you saw towards the end, you can bring on Grealish, Eric Dyer, Mason Mount, Rashford. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And, because of the intensity of this World Cup, we're trying to do everything over 4 weeks here. Squad management is absolutely key. We saw it with Argentina last night. They talked a lot about the quick turnaround. England are trying to do the same. But I think he got it. I mean, in terms of selection, he got it absolutely spot on. I think the only thing which might be a slight concern was Kyle Walker, just the way that Sarr got at him in the first half. He definitely got in behind him a few times there. But apart from that, the midfield 3 looks really settled. And then you have these options up front. You could easily swap in Rashford for France if you wanted to, play him instead of Saka. But at the moment, I think this has to be the team heading forward. And so for that, we do have to give Gareth some praise.
Absolutely. And I just want to go a bit deeper on Jude Bellingham, because obviously we know we cover the Bundesliga on ESPN, so we know it's no surprise to us how good Jude Bellingham is. It's no surprise to the English how good Jude Bellingham is. They follow very closely what he's doing. We have to keep reminding ourselves that he's a teenager because of his composure, because of his leadership. He's already captained Borussia Dortmund at this stage. Even in this one, like the stats just keep coming. The only teenager to record an assist in a World Cup knockout stage game since at least 1966, when there's been data available. And he must be giving so much confidence to England fans, but also to Gareth Southgate as well, because it's such a key position, Luis, to have a player that's good, and the future that he's got at such a young age with the national side.
Yeah, listen, I don't do this comment that I'm about to say lightly, okay? One of my favorite players in the history of the game is an Argentinian called Juan Román Riquelme. And one of the things that he did in that midfield was more than just statistics, was more than just assists. It was whenever he received the ball, I felt like time froze and he saw everything so clearly. There are so many things about Jude Bellingham that remind me of that. That is scary. And to what you just said, the fact that he's 19, I mean, never mind that opening goal from Jordan Henderson, right? To me, that run in the middle that opened everything up for the second goal was majestic. And the fact that he's 19 is unbelievable. And I love the fact that, like you said, he is so cool on the game, so poised. And there are so many things that remind me of Riquelme that is scary. But this is an absolute star, and I can't wait to see what happens more in the future. Never mind the tournament. A tremendous performance from the young man.
Go on, Tom.
I think we probably owe Birmingham City a bit of an apology, because
unfortunately,
remember when they retired his shirt, everyone was a bit like, lads, you've gone too soon here.
Do you know what, Tom? We know he retired his shirt, but just explain that happened, because I think some people still don't believe that happened, or maybe don't even know that happened to such a young player.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it showed how highly they regard him. I mean, his brother's still there. He's meant to be also an incredible talent. So, look, Jude Bellingham is a generational talent. I completely agree with what Elemi was saying there. There's also, I thought, elements of Iniesta today in the way that he played. But what I really liked was they played him a little bit further forward. And so we're seeing his full sort of box of tricks, and he's 19. It's scary. But yeah, apology to anyone at Birmingham who perhaps received some unfair criticism when they retired his shirt and people thought he might have gone too early. But look, the kid's an absolute superstar.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.